how can you protect your finances from those big market swings we're seeing at the moment? For more, we're joined by Dr. Steve Endicott from CAA Tax to break it all down. Take us through a bit about diversification to start.
Yeah, well, that's the first point. You're good, but volatility as a whole is a good thing. So people like me, I love it. You know, I think volatility is opportunity. All right, so a lot of volatility is a mind shift or a mindset thing.
Okay.
If you're going to be that little scared little rabbit that gets caught up in a headlight and bounces around all over the place whenever there's, you know, a news item or whatever it might be, you've got a problem. You've got to sit there and go, no, volatility is good. Volatility creates opportunity. The share market's down. That's a great time for me to buy some shares. Bitcoin's fallen significantly. I've always wanted to get in. Okay, so volatility is actually not a bad thing. How we handle it is probably the critical point in all this.
Run us through.
So I love volatility. So I want everyone watching this to love volatility, and I've got a few points here that's going to help you do that.
Let's do it.
All right, well, you've already pinched it, Mike. What would be the first thing?
Diversify, diversify, diversify.
Absolutely. So if you've got all your eggs in one basket and the wind's flopping around like there's no control, your investments are flopping around like no control. So I'm a huge believer in diversifying assets. I'm involved in everything. I'm involved in just about every single asset class. And there are times, like over the last couple of years, gold has been wonderful. It's been exciting. I've made a lot of money on gold. It'll probably be boring for the next 5 years.
Yes.
But it was exciting for a while there. Okay, so now you can sort of say, well, that's had its run. What's next? What dividends are coming through? What shares? What digital assets should we be getting involved in? When you've got your eggs in one basket, you're too focused on that one thing. You're not considering what other market moves may happen. If something gets crushed, if 20% of your portfolio gets crushed and 80% is stable and still going okay, it's not as bad as 100% of your portfolio getting crushed and you've got nothing.
110%.
So diversify is the way to handle that. Don't be a one person or one investment
pony,
person. That's right. Beautiful. Maintain an emergency fund. So when you go through periods of volatility, the worst thing you can do is sell an asset. Right, so you've bought some shares, the market's collapsed, you have to sell out because you haven't got any funds to continue on until that market corrects itself, may come back, make it worse too.
Boom and bust.
That's right. So always have a cash balance or a redraw facility or whatever it might be, that you're not forced into selling assets through volatility. That's how the rich get richer.
Yeah.
The rich will buy assets in busts. All right, why? Because they've got funds to do that. The shakeouts happen to the people who are highly speculative and can't carry through those periods. So that's the second one. Third one is take a long-term plan. I say it all the time. We overestimate a decade. We overestimate a year and underestimate a decade. If things don't happen this year, if land prices don't go up or digital assets go backwards or whatever, think about what about the next 10 or 20 years?
True.
We've had periods of inflation. Things don't get cheaper. So if you've bought something with fundamental intrinsic worth, it's only a matter of time before that corrects itself. But I don't know when that time is.
No.
Do you know?
No.
No, none of us know. So take that longer term view that if I'm not right this time, well, I'm still invested in a fundamentally good asset
Still
class.
in the race,
The tide will turn.
Skin in the game.
And that's where you need that longer term thinking to stick out those lean periods. Jumping around's not going to help you there. Number 4, monitor and adjust your portfolio. No one's ever right, Mike.
No.
Are you always right?
No, absolutely
I can tell you I'm never right as well. So I rarely admit mistakes, if you like. I generally ride things out too long. But at the end of the day, I am always monitoring my investments and encouraging others to monitor your investments. And if you have found that the fundamental reason for that investment class is no good anymore, get out.
Good call.
Invest in something else. High interest debt crushes everybody in volunteer. So if you've got speculative funds you've had to pay a lot for, as soon as that volatility comes into the market, you're going to get shaken out, you're going to go bankrupt, and the rich will get richer again. All right, the key point here is avoid panic. So if you look back on those tips I've just given you, if you start to create space in diversity, bit of an emergency fund, have a longer term plan, know what you're doing, when volatility comes along, your mindset will be, I'm not going to panic.
Water off a duck's back, as they say.
It still hurts, but at the end of the day, you're not going to panic. So I think they're the key things. The panic is what really hurts people in periods of volatility.
FOMO?
FOMO, yeah.
As
Fear
well.
of missing out's a big one as well.
Yeah,
hey,
it's
so
all
everyone
covered.
just made 1,000% at what I got to jump on board.
Yeah.
Well, generally the worst time to jump on board, Mike, is when everybody else has already made their money.
And the other thing you've said to me in the past is new opportunities come every 7 weeks or so.
Yeah, that's right. Once in a lifetime opportunities might come along every 7 weeks. So you just got to keep looking for them. So take that broader mindset, look over the whole market as a whole, not individually, and that'll avoid panic. So it's mindset, it's mind control. Volatility will always be around. There'll always be something to shake it up.
Very
Nothing
well
new
said.
under the sun, Mike.
Very, very well said by you. Look forward to
panic.
speaking again. Avoid panic, there we go. And a reminder that the information provided in this segment is of course for informative purposes only. And this is Ticker. We will be right back.